Hey guys, just finished watching Krypton, Season 1, Episode 10, The Phantom Zone. I'm speechless with this ending here. It has an 8.3 here on IMDb so far, and yeah, I would give it way more than that. I'm definitely giving this like a 9 out of 10 ending for this thing. The only thing would have been better of an ending is if somehow Superman showed up, or the Justice League showed up, or someone else, like another time traveler or something. That would have been cool seeing something like that. But this was still like a 9 out of 10. Like the only other thing would be like a Green Lantern showing up or something like that. Would have been really cool. But it was really cool the way they did things. So let's jump into this. First off, we got General Zod. He wants to bring back Val-El. And he tells them that he tells Seg that Val-El is stuck in the Phantom Zone, that he's met him there, and because there's no time doesn't exist really in the Phantom Zone, he's able to go when he was put in like 2018 or something, or wherever future he was put into. There, he's able to meet Val-El, and there's no like time doesn't exist right there. So that's really cool. That General Zod ends up bringing back Val-El, and it happened in like 2 seconds, which was interesting with the way they played with this, because the way they played with the Phantom Zone on Smallville, it was a couple of minutes in there is an hour here, and so like 30 minutes a day, spending like 2 hours there was like weeks here. So every minute there was like a day and weeks. So when they came out of it in Smallville, I remember that episode when Clark and Oliver Queen went into the Phantom Zone. They were stuck in. They found that Zod and all of his goons were all there. They were all they had him in a gladiatorial battle type thing. They were stuck there for a few hours within the time. But when they got back out, they found out that they had been in there for according to everyone else, Chloe and Lois and everything. They were there for weeks and stuff. So here it's quite interesting to see how different they're playing with it here. Quite the opposite type thing. How 5 minutes on here is like days in there for him. So we didn't really get to see anything what it looks like in there. Hopefully it looks like we'll probably will for the end of it for next season. We find out that Adam Strange is stuck in one of Brainiac's Earth City. We really don't see too much of him. That's really all we end up seeing of him, is that he's stuck there and everyone else is frozen, but he's kind of the only one able to move within that Earth City. And we don't really see what city that is. It looks like a Earth City. So it looks really cool to see where that is. Is it from the same timeline as he is? Is he from the further future than that? Is he from the earlier in his timeline? Where is what? It would be cool to find that out. Is he from way farther in the future, like the 31st century or 30th century, for the where the Legion of Superheroes are from or something? That would be really cool to find out, if that's his timeline. It looks like it is, but if he's stuck in there and with the end there's the time jump, how is he surviving in there? How does he able to survive? Since he's only human, he doesn't have any superpowers or anything, so he should still needs to drink water and food and stuff to survive. So I don't know if he could really survive a month living there and not being able to move. Now there might be some food, I guess, scavenging around there and that stuff, so maybe he's able to survive or something in there. But it's gonna be cool to see what happens to him and how does he come out messed up type thing, since he's been stuck with people who can't move and stuff. And if he's gonna be there for at least there's already been that month time jump. There might be another one going into the next whenever the season starts for season 2. That'll be cool seeing where things are going to go for all that. So it'll be cool to see how things change up with him. So we see that the Superman logo is almost gone on the cape at one point when the Nisa walks over to Lyda and tells her that let's leave. I know there's tunnels from here to back to the Kandor, so we can take them, and we can just go ourselves. And as she's about to sit down, we see that the cape in the background is there, and it's almost gone. It's pretty much like most of the S is gone. There's like really like an inch or two left of the S on the cape, and the rest of the cape is pretty much gone. And Lita and Nisa end up going back to Kandor. Nisa Vex goes for her child Corvex. We don't really see what ends up happening to that. It's really weird where we see with that. General Zod wants to offer Val-El to Brainiac, since he knows so much about the future and has so much knowledge and stuff. If maybe he's worth more than the city, so he could trade Val-El for the city type thing. That would be an interesting idea, playing with that. Lyda ends up sending the Salvators to the Saboteur to take on Brainiac and distract him and to attack Brainiac, but that kind of fails, blows up, and they end up all just dying type thing, and just blowing a few of them up. But at least it gives, like seg-el says, at least it gives the rest of the people on the ground time to escape type thing and distract him. Black Zero ends up telling Nyssa Vex that she is a clone, that when her mother had an accident, she was actually in the pod with her, and she was kind of crippled in there, so they had her consciousness moved into a new body type thing. I thought they were going to reveal that she was her mother, but I guess that was too much on the nose type thing, especially since the actors had the same kind of hair color and stuff. I thought that was going to be really cool to reveal that, but it wasn't. It was a cool surprise that she is actually a clone. I didn't see that one coming whatsoever. Val-El suggested that he wants to kill himself before letting Brainiac take him because of the knowledge that he has. It would, be too much for Brainiac, and he'd be able to take over, countless other planets. Even if he spared Krypton, the rest of the universe would be endangered because of how much knowledge he has of the future and stuff. So that's interesting with that. And then even, they even almost uses that. Seg-el even threatens to shoot him, but Brainiac just kind of throws him across the room. General Zod ends up bringing Brainiac to the fortress. Brainiac gets put into the Phantom Zone, but that's when just as he's getting put into the Phantom Zone, he ends up dragging seg-el into the Phantom Zone. And as he's doing that, Superman's cape is coming back, and he gets he gets stuck into the Phantom Zone, and he sees that the cape is fine, so he lets go of his grandfather Val-El, and the cape is kind of fully reformed back. Then General Zod ends up shooting and destroying the Phantom projector, and Superman's cape turns into the Superman logo, the House of El logo on the Superman, the yellow one on the back of the cape, ends up changing into a Zod logo. Zod becomes 1 month later. We jump 1 month later, and Zod is in charge of Krypton, and he wants to take over the rest of any other planet who he can take over. So he wants to take over the universe, and that's when we see Doomsday breaking free of his captive, his cage and stuff, and that's where we end this season. Holy crap, with those endings, they had to have known for sure that they were getting a season 2, because I guess they did one of those things where they signed Sci-Fi ordered two seasons, so who knows I don't know what the ratings are, if the ratings are good or whatnot, what that means, but I'm just glad that we officially have a season 2, because ending like this with no season 2 would just be so devastating. Such a good show like this. It is interesting. One of these shows, it feels like it's not one of the shows I'm most excited to watch every time when I'm like, oh, this is the next show for me to watch. But at the same time, once I start watching the episodes, I just fall in love with the episode. So it is really cool with this show. I like the way things are going. I like how it's only 10 episodes. It's really easy to digest and stuff. It's really cool. I guess it would be cool to push it off a little bit later into the year, so that it's not so much playing in between. It's not so much during all the other shows, since we have so many other shows like Legion, Supergirl, and Arrow, and all those other weekly shows. If it's 10 shows, I'd put it a little bit later into the summer, but I guess this is probably the best place for them to put, for people actually will be able to watch them, whereas people are not really going to watch them over their summer holidays or anything like that. So it's really going to be cool to see where things go with this for season 2. I'm so excited to see where things are going to go. Hopefully we get to see actually what the Phantom Zone looks like. I think it'd be cool playing with that and time travel, and if there's time doesn't exist, really, time is kind of different in the Phantom Zone. He's able to, seg-el could be in there and see that, his Superman exists in there. Maybe General Zod, without telling them, has Superman trapped in there, or Supergirl could be trapped in there. I doubt they're going to ever do Supergirl in this show, but, it would be interesting to see that maybe a version of Jor-El could be there, or I think it would be really, really cool to see any different person. Also, I think it would be pretty cool to see different characters, have some legacy castings in there. Maybe the original General Zod, I can't think of the guy's name, but the guy who played the original General Zod in the Superman 2 with Christopher Reeves. He also voiced General Zod, Jor-El in the Phantom, in the Fortress of Solitude in Smallville. I think it would be cool to see him having a cameo somewhere inside the Fortress of Solitude, or inside the Phantom Zone as someone. Could be quite cool. It would also be cool to see maybe a Lex Luthor in there. You could have all kinds of different characters, different characters in the Phantom Zone as references. We do know that obviously Brainiac's going to be in there, but it would be cool to see different things going on. And seg-el has to survive everything. Maybe Brainiac gets distracted by someone else. Maybe there's a Gorilla Grodd in there. Maybe I don't know, all kinds of different characters like Killer Croc. anyone Mongol, he could be there. Maybe Darkseid could be in there. We could see that. I think they could be different interesting characters. And Sam, I know where some of the Green Lantern villains and stuff, some of those really powerful villains that would have to be thrown into the Phantom Zone could be quite cool to seeing them in season 3 and just teasing them there and having that be a possibility. So I think it'd really be cool to see what type of villains are in there, and it would be cool to see them get added on as, if their time doesn't exist in here, if in 31st century General Zod got put into the Phantom Zone, and then he's able to see in this future, in this time, which we don't know what really year this is right now. We just get an idea of it's still just under 200 years from when the Krypton's about to explode, but we don't know what year on Earth is that happening. Is it 2017 going on here, or is General Zod from 2017 or 2018 actually? Is where are things going with that? That would be good, a cool thing to answer that. I feel like those are questions though probably for the Comic-Con panels and stuff, whenever the actors or producers and stuff, writers come around. That would be cool questions to get answered as to where timelines are going, how things are going, because it would be cool to see if, like I said, if time doesn't really doesn't matter, and Superman could see his great grandfather in there, because if he's been put in there by someone else, that could be an interesting idea, and then you're able to meet because time doesn't really change. He wouldn't really grow old too much in there, so that'd be cool to see that. And then also it would be cool to see different, like if the Justice League end up defeating villains in the future and throwing them in there, and that would be cool to see that, and seeing Seg dealing with different villains and different all kinds of different DC character villains. And it looks, the way they're doing Doomsday, it looks pretty cool to see that, so it could be pretty fun to see different characters and getting different references. So I think the Easter eggs for next season, if Seg spent the whole season in the Phantom Zone, which would be cool, it'd be cool to see that and deal with that and play with that and see where things are going, how things are going to go there, who else is left in there, anyone else trapped there that General Zod put there by mistake, any other heroes maybe in there. That could be quite cool seeing that too. So all in all, I can't wait to see where things go for season 2 for the show. Definitely is awesome. So let me know what you think, guys, about this in the comments below. Where do you think things are going? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Kal-El, my future grandson. This is the story of the House of El. The story of your family isn't how we died, but how we lived.